When I was born, my parents stamped on my feet, Democrat. I was raised to believe the Democrats loved the working man. They were for the poor people. They were for the party of fairness. They were the people that looked out for the other people. And you couldn't trust the Republicans because they were only going to be for the rich guy. If you weren't the rich guy, look out. So you better keep the Democrats in power, son. Okay, so my first presidential election, I voted for Jimmy Carter. Oh, after watching his terrible leadership, I started reevaluating the propaganda. And soon I joined with Ronald Reagan. The Democratic Party had left us. It was not who we thought they were. You know, I'd take John F. Kennedy today if he were around. I'd vote for him instead of any Republican even, probably. But not any Democrat that I can even think that I can support. And it's getting tough to even want to support the rhinos who call themselves Republicans. Well, here's the game plan. He who controls the media controls the public mind. Well, at least their emotion. And what thinking ability they have has been warped over the years with the educational system. So we're going to believe whatever they're telling us on the legacy television programs, the news, movies, all kinds of things. Everything has been twisted to control what we think and what we feel. This is to make sure that the party line gets in power and stays in power. They give us this illusion of democracy. They're not for democracy. They never have been. Well, maybe they have been, but they haven't been for decades. Joseph Stalin said it best, you can vote all you want, but it's he who counts the votes is going to decide everything. And boy, this election has definitely proven itself to be the case. There's no fraud here. There's nothing going on that's nefarious. It's all being fair and above board. Just make sure you're standing far enough back that you can't see any corruption or anything going bad, and we'll all get along, right? Yeah. Look at all these dead people that vote. Man, how dedicated. I'm angry at my grandfather for not showing up to visit me when he came to vote. He's been dead for 40, 50 years. Wow. But who's going to decide the vote? Well, they've come up with the machines. They've come up with the methodology. And I don't believe for a moment that Democrats are in control of any city or state by the will of the people. I believe they have stolen democracy in every one of those towns, every one of those cities and states that they control. They're the ones counting the votes. They're the ones that do whatever they want, and you just got to go along with the outcome. One more step left in their plan. Take away the guns. Get the guns. Founding fathers realized that they knew if you had the power and the ability to defend yourself against a corrupt and bad government, that you could throw the bums out. And if you had to do it by force, you could do it by force. None of us want to see bloodshed. But you know what? There's going to be bloodshed because communists have always killed people. If they don't imprison you, they'll end up killing you, especially if they can't change your mind. And that's always been what they've done. Again, they have taken the will and the mind of the people, and they have their new improved Communist Party and their new name, Progressive Socialist Democrats. It's simply dummy-proof. Government for dummies. Wake up, people. Educate yourself, because it's 2 down, 1 to go. And if you don't do something soon, you're going to be towing the party line, or you're just not going to be allowed to live. I'm warning you. Love God, love your neighbor, do right, and educate yourself. And don't believe the media for one moment. And make sure you hold them accountable at the polling stations, and don't let them take away your last line of defense. Otherwise, your children and grandchildren will never know freedom, and they will have their minds and beings totally warped to the will of an evil state.